My name's Doug Bowie, and this is VRIPS, the current iteration of VRIPS, and it is a virtual reality IP subnet calculator. What you see in front of you is a representation of a network as a long object with two colors on each end, and to solve the problems that are posed on the chalkboard and the whiteboard here with the diagram, we're going to break the network into different sizes as needed and stick them in the solution rings here, and there'll be 2 to 8 solution rings as we go up. And our main menu will show several different options, like the level we're on. There are 10 levels. When we've got them in the rings the way we want, we can submit the network, which means we'll be able to get it scored, and our scoring panel shows there's an about box that talks a little about me and everybody that helped me make this piece of software. We've got the IP cheat sheet, which is basically a piece of scratch paper for students that are working on things to write things down. We start off the cheat sheet trying to remember that a /24 is equal to 254 IPs. And each one of those little boxes you can click on and put text in as you like. So it's sort of a scratch pad that will persist between different questions. All right, so let's start in. So we reach over and we will pick up the network and can move it around and that kind of thing. We can crush the network into more than one piece. We can grab the network and break it by making sort of a sharp motion that we might make. And we can organize them by sort of moving them around in space. And you'll see the numbers on them change as they become different sizes. And the educational lecture portion that goes with this does some level of the teaching that goes with it. Our question here says to break into 2 equal parts, assign each network to a LAN. Oh no, I've broken it into 3 parts. I can go to reset network, and that will reset the entire question back to the beginning. So I can break it into 2 parts as the question requests. And as I stick it into the solution ring here, you can see it's scoring it up on the scoring panel. The perfect score in this context is a 0. That means I've made the most efficient choices I can make. And in our question asks for 2 parts, and we used all of our IP address spaces in 2 parts, so each ring got 1 network with no extra leftover networks, so that equals a score of 0. Extra networks or extra IP addresses, if there are multiple rings, will cause a positive score. So we will submit the network, and we can see it's scored with our current level of 0, and we will say continue, which will move us on to question 2. Different question, different network diagram, different scoring panels, additional rings. As we go along, there'll be more and more rings. This one says divide it into 4 equal parts, and we can move forward and see that there's additional networks. And as we get up to 6 and 7, we'll get more and more questions and things that go on with it. 8 and 9 come with some fairly exciting network diagrams. You can see as we go back down, some questions allow for more information on the network bar. That's on a per question basis. So as we input the questions, as the creator of the questions, I can tell it how much information I want to give on the network bar. So some questions come with more information. And as you see here on the scoring panel, we'll have provided IPs, which is additional information because the question allows for it. I hope you've enjoyed this overview of VRIPS.